All right, welcome back, everybody. Anybody who's new here, thanks for joining me today. You're obviously here for a little bit of a real review. First caveat, I do not work with these guys. I wouldn't mind working with Daiwa because they make some really good stuff, but this is all about this is the Lexa HD, and mine's the 300 HSL-P. So the L stands for left-handed, the P stands for power handle. Okay, so I literally just tied it up, and one of my subscribers, one of you guys, whoever that was, comment below. Thank you for reminding me to do this. It's been about a year now, and those of you guys that know, like I said, I don't work with these guys, but what I like to do for real reviews is, or like any product review for that matter, even if I don't work with the company, so any of you guys that are looking and you guys are part of the companies, if you guys want me to work with stuff, understand it's going to take a year. Like I'll do reviews for companies and whatever, but they're going to be honest and I'm never going to lie. So just keep that in mind. But all you guys that are here for this real review, man, say that 10 times too fast. Just understand that I use things for up to about a year, 6 months to a year before I ever do an actual review on them. So I want to make sure that I have real life experience, real time playing with it, and actually like beating things up so that like if anything breaks, anything goes wrong with it, you can look through my products list or my reviews and products list playlist that I have listed. I'll link it at the end of this video. Basically, you guys that have been around, you know, if I use something, which everything I have done a review on it and made sure you guys understand. Is it good? Is it bad? Obviously, this is my opinion. You guys might have a different opinion on things, but I fish for a living. So this is one of those things where I spend probably more time on the water than most tournament fishermen. And you guys can argue that fact, but yeah, I don't see any of those guys putting out 150 videos a year. So there's that. But we're going to get this down real quick. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I want to go over some of the key points, and then I'm going to describe some of my favorite things about it, and then stuff that you guys had questions about before. So when I did an unboxing, I had a few questions myself, and I had a few questions from you guys. Always feel comfortable leaving questions below because I do read them and I do keep them in my mind when I'm fishing. You know, like what does it do this or how does it do that type thing. If you guys have questions, I need those so that I can go over those specifically while I'm using the product, so that I can bring that question back to light, so that you're actually getting a real life answer. And that's the whole point of this thing. Is the whole channel is to make you guys have a better time out in the outdoors. And but yeah, let me go over this thing with you guys, and yeah, I'll talk about all the little key points. And like I said, if you have any other questions below, or if there's a product that I don't have for whatever reason, a review or like an overview on, comment below if you guys want me to do a review on anything specifically, or any new products for that matter. I'm not rich, I don't have a bunch of money, but when I do have the opportunity to upgrade stuff or change gear, I would like to know if you guys have anything specifically you want me to look into. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave it up there. So I wanted to get you guys a little bit of an up close look here. Let's see if we can bring that light down a little bit. As you guys can see, it's getting kind of dirty. Not necessarily super dirty to the point where I feel like I need to take it apart and clean it or anything like that, and I haven't done that yet. So one thing I will go over is what I have set up. So I believe the rod I have that on is a tuned up customs. That's an Apex, what is that, a 710 medium heavy. That's their, what's that, like a medium musky rod from Tuned Up Custom Rods. That's my rod sponsor. That's who I work with. If you guys ever want a discount deal and you guys plan on picking up those rods, or if you want to build this setup, you can use DWS 10. That saves you 10% off on all your orders. So like if you build a bunch of different rods or whatever, it'll save you 10% off your total order. But what I was going to say is I wanted to go over the whole build. So 710 medium heavy, it's like a, you know, what do you call that? It's like a medium action musky rod. So it's a pretty heavy rod. What I just used it for though recently, and it was really cool, was I went out frog fishing on the Mississippi. I will put that video at the end of this one so you guys can check that out. And then like I said, I'll put the reviews, playlists, and stuff like that at the end of this video too. But so I have that. Then I have, this is 65-pound braid. Yeah, 65-pound Suffix 832 braid I put on there. And then, like I said, this is the power, the P. So if you're looking at these and you wanted to order one, so the L stands for left-handed. So I reel left-handed and set the hook with my right hand like a normal person should. All you guys that copied the Bass Pros from the past that do the hand switch, and then I don't, it doesn't make any sense. Cast, keep it in your hand, reel. Like, I can fish either way, but that just makes more sense. But so yeah, then the P obviously stands for the power handle. I thought I wouldn't like this because it's such a big, like, it's a big knob on there. But honestly, like, it's soft, it's light. I like the way it all looks. It works really good. It gives you a little bit of winching power on there. The T, this is obviously wider than like a standard little handle, like on like my Curados and stuff like that. It's a much bigger piece. The drag on this thing, I basically just, because I have 65-pound braid, I just have it locked down to winch fish out of weeds and, you know, get them out of danger zones really quickly. I've been using this for frogging, throwing big spinners, big swim baits, just all my bigger stuff. Basically, I've been using this as like a northern pike / muskie rod right now, so that's why I have it set up the way I do. If you guys want to build this exact setup, I will just have like the whole setup linked in the description. So like the rod, the reel, the line that I use. That way you can kind of just build it all out the same way. Because trust me, you're probably going to want to after I talk about this a little bit. So one of the things I remember from the first video, if you guys didn't see that one, or if you've seen that one and you're glad I'm doing this one now, hit the like button right now. I'm glad one of you guys reminded me to do this before I forgot about it. One of the things from the first video was when I was reeling it, it had, I'll be quiet here. It had like a grind. It like almost sounded like a bad bearing in like a car, or like something when you're rolling it, it had like sand in it. And I was worried. I was like, oh, did I get a bad one? Honestly, I'm not a real tech professional. Like I don't have the ability to tear this all apart and tell you what all little nuances are. But I think it needed to be broken in, basically. So I've been using it for a little over, no, right around a year exactly. And I mean, it's super, super smooth. And I mean, that's with the line flopping around in there right now. The 10 settings on here for the lure weight and all that stuff, I love the braking on this thing. So those of you guys that aren't new here know that I just got back into bait casting. So I never fished with bait casting reels on this channel for like 3 or 4 years. Out of the 6 or 7 that I'm on YouTube. And that was just because these tend to be a more expensive reel. So I'll let you know right now, I'll have this listed below. Don't do the sticker shock thing. Put it this way, if you can't throw away $100 bill, this isn't the reel for you. I'm telling you right now. Because I think it was $325 or something like that, or $275. It just depends. On Amazon, if you guys keep checking back on my Amazon link, sometimes I'll give you a tip. Sometimes they will put these things for like 25, 30% off. So, I mean, you can literally go from it being like $300 something or whatever to like $265 or $275, I believe was like the cheapest version of this. But with a caveat, that buys you a lot of reel. So the crazy thing about this thing that I love the most right now is how freaking smooth it is. Let's see. I have one of the frogs from my recent trip. He's a little shredded from northern pike. But this frog, so this size frog, I don't remember what one, if this is quarter or what. I can't remember what weight it was. But you guys can see about how big it is compared to the reel. This frog, I was casting on, I have it on, what is that on? Number 3 or 2.5 or whatever. So this has like little dots in between its settings, and I believe there's half settings, which I didn't even know was a thing with reels. But yeah, with the half settings and this, so 3.5, I could bomb this frog with that rod probably 200 feet, 300 feet, like really far, And it was kind of comical. You'll see it in some of the videos. Some of the hook sets I get on a fish are freaking mile back into some weeds. And I mean, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's one of those things where, you know, when you cast forever and you get a good hook set because you got a good rod, good reel setup, it takes a little bit to winch them out of the weeds. But I will tell you right now, with that braking system and everything adjusted appropriately, it's a beautiful e-casting. Like this, for the money that's spent on this, 100% worth every penny. And I'm broke, so understand that. I don't ever have any money. I put it all back into this. All of this stuff looks fancy stuff. I'm broke. That's just like not having money, but having nice things is kind of how I like to fish. I don't care if I have anything else, as long as when I'm fishing, I don't get frustrated. The other thing with the braking that I'll go right into, a lot of people look at these reels very specifically so that you have an upgraded braking system and like how the bearings and everything work. Everything about the braking on this so like if you adjust this all the way to its max setting, I was doing, you know, just bomb cast where I was trying to get it to backlash. I was still thumbing it a little bit, but for the most part, the braking was taking over so much that it was almost like my Curados. If you've ever had a Curado DC or you know about the Curado DC and the digital braking, the way this works is so close to it that I actually prefer fishing with this because it's not as noisy. And I know that's like taboo because I have 2 Curados and I shouldn't be complaining about that. But the fact of the matter is, when you make 5,000 casts and you edit videos all the time, so all you guys that are new here, I film, edit, do all this myself. It's me, myself, and I'm the only one that does all this stuff. I have a few good sponsors that allow me to do this, and I'm very thankful for them, but I would love to have a video editor and all that stuff. I just don't have the money for it. But yeah, when you're sitting there editing videos and you just hear wee, 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 like for like 5-6 hours of editing, it gets old. So this is a welcome change to that world. It's very quiet when it casts. It's not annoying when you're reeling it in. It's very quiet when you're reeling it in. Comment below. I'll answer up to like the top 5 comments that are really good and reasonable on what you guys want to know about this. So this is a 7/4 gear ratio. Like I said, I've been mainly using it for like small musky lures and just heavy bass gear. So I throw my big ploppers on this setup. I throw bigger spinners. I throw bigger swim bait stuff on it. The frogs I've been throwing on it. I can't think of anything else that I've been really using it for. It's just such a good top water setup because of the size of the rod. I can keep my line up out of the junk. Those of you guys that fish top water a lot, whether it's bass or muskie or northern pike, you know, when you're reeling stuff in, it's annoying when your line is down in there. And the speed of this and the size of that rod setup, so the whole setup is a beautiful setup for that. So we'll get back to the reel. I'm trying to think of anything else that has had any noticeable things with this, and I just really haven't had anything negative to say about it. Trying to think of negative stuff. Some of you guys might think I'm lying, but I really I just don't have any negatives. So I don't have giant hands. I have a giant mitt. I have small fingers. Fat hand, small fingers. So those of you guys with a smaller set of hands on them, so like that's me. Like I guess that's just another plus. Is that it's a 300 that fits in a small hand. I almost got a 400, but my cousin muskie fishes all the time, and he told me that he's like, yeah, you'll probably be fine. He's got smaller hands too. You'll probably be fine with the 300 and be able to get just about anything in. And so far, everything that I've fished for with this, I've been able to bring in just fine. So yeah, the gear ratio's good. The overall construction of it's real good. No flex. Like I hear a lot of people talk about flex in their cheaper reels. No flex in this thing. It doesn't weigh a lot. What does this reel weigh? 12.3 ounces or 350 grams. So I think my Curados are like 8 ounces or something like that. So they're stupid light. But I mean, for a light musky reel, that's pretty good deal. And then like obviously you'd call this a very heavy bass reel. I know a lot of guys that like to fish those swim baits. That's like a new thing. Milliken, all those guys are throwing giant swim baits around now. This'll do it. This'll do it just fine. And I promise you, you won't have any major problems with this that I can foresee. Take care of your reels. I'm gonna have to learn how to disassemble it and clean it at the end of this year. I've been using it for a year straight and have not cleaned this thing, and I haven't had a problem yet. So hopefully I've gone over pretty much everything on here. I guess I should tell you guys, what do we got for drag force on this? Max drag is 22 pounds. That's pretty freaking good. 7-4-1 gear ratio, 6+1, so 7 ball bearings. Brings in 33 per inch. And then, yeah, I'm running braid, so this is way over what it says, but it says like your regular J braid or whatever. 30 pounds is 220 meters or 240 yards. 40-pound test is 165 meters, 180 yards. But like I said, I've been running a full spool of, what is this? So it's the Suffix 832 50-pound, not 65, 50-pound. I thought it was 65 for whatever reason, but it's a 12-pound mono equivalent. So that's what I'm running. So I'll list this, and that all down below so that you can do the exact same setup. And I'm telling you right now, if you set it up this way, do yourself a favor. If you get this reel, start at like the hardest setting and work your comfort level down to wherever you need to be for the size of the lure that you're using, so you don't get backlashes. I think I've had a couple of backlashes on here now that I think about it, but with this line, it's got that hydrophobic coating on it or whatever, so it slides on itself really nice, which could be a detriment to some people, but I just don't see the problem with running that kind of braid and then being able to pick it loose just fine. So all good things. I just really don't have anything negative to say about this reel. If I come up with anything negative or anything stupid happens with it, that's not my fault. Like if I break this thing, it's my fault. I don't blame the reel for me being stupid. I've broken plenty of things before, just misusing them. So hopefully that helps everybody out. Okay guys, hopefully that helps anybody that's looking at these reels and trying to get like their head wrapped around it. I wish I had more reels to compare it against of that size class. Like I said, I have these are Curados, so Shimano Curados. I actually just got another Daiwa that I'm going to be trying out here, and I'll have a unboxing and I'll talk about what video that is. But I wanted to try another Daiwa because I like that Daiwa. Everything about it I like. Obviously Shimano's been making reels forever, and they have like the best JDM stuff. If you can afford to get JDM, Shimano's, do it. But as far as that 300 Lexa, she's a golden gem, and I plan on, when I can afford it, if I can build another setup like this, I'm going to build another setup like this so that I have two options of throwing stuff on big setups. But yeah, that's, so far, it's been my favorite thing. But yeah, I'll put it up right here. I'll have the Mississippi Frogging Day on that rod and reel setup, and then I'll have my other review videos in the playlist that you see right here. Hopefully, like I said, this one helps you guys out. We'll see you guys next time.